Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ariel and I am blessed with motherhood. That's my handle on Instagram and here, basically everywhere, my website. You'll also notice the lack of baby wearing. I didn't think I could do it, but she is asleep. So she's just asleep in her little baby bassinet. So we'll see how long this lasts. Today's video is going to be about the Charlotte Mason Arithmetic series. And I have the first 3 books. So I will give you a flip through with those. So I really only have experience with the first book, and then I've looked through the second, and we're just starting it with my year 3, and then the third book I have and flipped through it, but haven't really done anything with it yet. Now, book 1 is great for early math, just building that solid foundation of numbers. It's recommended that you start when your child starts like formal school. So sometimes, like when they're doing formal lessons, sometimes you think this might be too easy because it's about counting and it really focuses on one number at a time. But I would agree that although it seems easy at first, it does get gradually harder, and having that like little bit of easiness I think can build a lot of confidence, especially if you have a struggling kiddo with math. But I would recommend you follow that. Maybe they start at 6, although you could probably start at 5 as well. But you just don't want to be doing this too early, because I think it would actually be very difficult for younger children than that. So, and then, so book 1, I'm going to flip through so that it's easier for you to see, but it's going to deal with numbers from 1 to 100 and like how to count them, and very easy addition, subtraction, kind of working with manipulatives. I will say that with my review, at least having used just this one, and I'll update as we use more. Hopefully I will have all, I think there's 6 books out right now. Hopefully I'll have all of those eventually. Kind of tend to get like 1 or 2 each year. But with this, I would say we use this as a supplement. I think it could be used as a full-on math curriculum, but I wanted something tangible that we could write in. These are non-consumable, so you don't write in these. It's mostly like you and the kiddo reading together, but you kind of do a lot of mental math. And this is why I wanted to add into what we're using, Beast Academy, and then kindergarten. I'll talk about that more in the kindergarten video, but or if I already filmed that one first, I've already talked about it. But this is really like Charlotte Mason method math, which is lots of mental math, and I love that because I find I want the children, at least I want my kiddos to be able to show their work and be able to get it down on a piece of paper, but also be able to do it, mentally, and do it all in their heads. I think being able to do both is a very big deal, that they should be able to learn those skills. So I find that a lot of the times our workbook with Beast Academy, I don't feel like it really has you do stuff in your mind. You're usually writing it down, kind of showing your work or counting things. And with this, you do count stuff, but there is a huge chunk of each section that is specifically just like do stuff in your head. So like word problems and just, paying attention. I think it really builds the habit of attention. So you're building what you can do math-wise in your head, as well as paying attention to the word problems. So, it's suggested you don't read stuff more than once, not to punish the kid, but to really have them focus that I'm going to say this once, so this is the time to pay attention. So you got to make sure they're paying attention, but then they also need to make sure that they are paying attention themselves. So let me flip this around and show you inside all of these books. All right, so I have books 1, 2, and 3. 3 we haven't really started yet, so I'll get to that one last. And here's 2, and here's number 1. So 1 is very easy. It's mostly focusing on, here is the contents. It's going to focus on numbers 1 through 100 and simply counting them and being able to, and there's a bunch of tips and when to start and supplies you need, and some information on 1 through 9. But so it's going to start very simple. Let's see. So we'll start with 1. And so it's going to introduce the number 1, and it's really gentle and great for these younger kiddos like 5 and 6 when you start formal lessons or kindergarten, and just kind of focusing on one number. Each number can be like for a day, a week, however long you want to work on it. And it starts with things you do with manipulatives, and then it's got answers, and it's got counting, always answers, and then the review parts are math you do in your head. And I really like the pure numbers is, very focused on doing it in your head as well. And it gradually gets harder. And so towards the end, you're going to be doing these kind of things. So let's look at the very end. And so I went through this book with my oldest, and you'll get to 100, but I'm doing it again with my second. I'll try to flip it through it a little bit slower. Should totally be baby wearing, but she was happy in her chair when I started. So then this is book 2. So let's turn to the table of contents. So this is the table of contents for book 2. And you're going to start out right where you left off, and supplies needed and stuff. Review from book 1, simple review. And then addition and subtraction. You started it a little bit in book 1, but now you're going to be really mastering it in book 2. And so it follows the same format. There's answers. So this is non-consumable, so you are able to not write on these and keep them nice and use them for each child. They'll get like a separate piece of paper, or better yet, a math notebook to do all these, or just do them with manipulatives or in their head. But I think it's also nice to figure these out to be able to show your work. But so it's going to look like this, and then towards the end, you're going to start with multiplication and division. I think you actually start this a little bit sooner, multiplication and division, but here is kind of a slower flip through in the middle. So things like this. And I really like these because I was looking for something that really followed Charlotte Mason's methods, and this definitely does that with the mental math. It was something that I just struggled to figure out how to incorporate, so I really like these. And then book 3 is going to start exactly where book 2 left off. So here's the table of contents, and then it's gonna talk to you about concepts in book 3 and some overview and review, a little bit longer review because you learned a lot in book 2 as well as 1. And so subtracting large numbers, subtraction using $10 bills. So this is what the end's gonna look like. You're gonna do problems looking like this, where you're gonna use a mix of multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. And measurements, liquid measurements, dry measurements. So starting to get into a science of math, and a lot of fractions, looks like. So yeah, those are book 1, 2, and 3 so far, and I really like this series. Thank you so much for watching this flip through and review of the Simply Charlotte Mason Arithmetic series. I have the first 3, so as I get more, I'll review more. And as I go through them, I'll review them more. But we love book 1. It's great. I love the mental math part. I love the hardcover and how beautiful they are, and that they're non-consumable. I love that they get gradually harder, but they don't have too much review. It seems like just enough. So I really like supplementing these, adding these in. They can be standalone, but I like the variety of switching off Beast Academy with these and just kind of working the brain differently, using different kinds of ways to do math. And I like that we're starting book 2 with my oldest and starting again book 1. It's a great math option if you're looking to do math with manipulatives, the Charlotte Mason way, as well as focus a lot on mental math to be able to do something where you can show your work as well as do it in your head and kind of know both ways is really a great way to learn math. So thank you so much for watching, and until the next video.